Hello and welcome to Stampin' Sandy's videos. Today I would like to record a little video for you showing you the second card that we made at my open house this past week. It is going to be that card, and we are using a couple of different stamp sets. We are again using Teeny Tiny Wishes. I love that stamp set. And we are also going to use a stamp set called Circus. Alright, some of the ink colors we're going to use on that card are Old Olive, More Mustard, Melon Mambo, one of the new ink colors for this year, and also Chocolate Chip. Alright. The first thing that I'm going to do with this card is go ahead and stamp the background piece. I'm going to start with a circle-y stamp in Chocolate Chip. And I'm just going to randomly stamp that. When you're doing a random stamped pattern like this, I would suggest using some of your bigger stamps first. You can always fill in the cracks with some smaller stamps, but if you fill it all up with little stamps, it's pretty hard to go back and fill in the cracks with bigger stamps. So that's why I suggest doing it that way. All right? So again, the colors were Old Olive for the green, Chocolate Chip for the brown, More Mustard for those, and then I'm going to go back and fill in some of the smaller spots with this little swirly stamp out of the stamp set called Circus. It's brand new in this year's catalog. Then what I'm going to do is go ahead and mount that piece onto a piece of Chocolate Chip. Just so you know some measurements, this piece right here is 3.5 inches tall by 4.25 inches wide. I'm going to mount that onto a piece of Chocolate Chip. The Chocolate Chip piece is going to be 4.25 inches wide, or 4.5 inches wide by 3.25 inches tall. So I now have that piece. I don't know if you remember back from my original card, but I have a little notch out of there. So what I've done to do the little notch is use the wide oval punch, and I'm just going to flip him upside down, go to the side, and just snap out a notch there, okay? Then what I'm going to do is start with my background piece, which is a piece of Melon Mambo cut to 5.5 inches by 8.5 inches. Okay, so I end up with something like that. I'm going to go ahead and mount my chocolate piece onto my Melon Mambo piece. For the little ribbon along the side, that's pretty fun to do. What you're actually going to do is punch a hole through that front layer and wrap your ribbon around there. To punch my hole, I'm getting out my Crop-A-Dile. If you've never used a Crop-A-Dile, he's really fun and does a lot of different things. Right in that section here, we'll punch you an 1/8 inch hole. Right there, we'll punch you a 3/16 inch hole. And this little guy here will set all kinds of grommets. Or another word for grommets is eyelets. So what I'm going to do is open up my card so I can get through the center. I'm feeding this piece right into here, and when I punch, it's going to punch me a 3/16 inch hole. Alright? What I'm going to feed through there is a piece of the new Melon Mambo ribbon, cut about 8.5 inches long. Just feed it through the back side, pull to the front. Kind of get your tails even if you can, and go ahead and tie. I have a ribbon tying tutorial out there, so you can view that. My videos are all out on YouTube. Go ahead and tie that using our really nice scissor from Stampin' Up. All of my products that I use on my cards are Stampin' Up products. I am a Stampin' Up demonstrator, so that is the reason for that. And I feel that Stampin' Up products are superior to all others, so that's kind of why I do that. I wouldn't represent a company that I didn't feel confident in their product. Now I have another piece of Melon Mambo ribbon. I'm going to gather out a stamp out of, I picked out the Thinking of You stamp out of the little Teeny Tiny Wishes set. I'm going to use that in Chocolate Chip. and stamp that on my scrap of Melon Mambo. Notice it isn't stamped perfectly straight, but that's okay. I'm gathering out my new punch called the Modern Label Punch, and I'm going to go ahead and tip that guy upside down, feed my paper through my punch, center that in the punch, looks like so. Punch it out. It hardly uses any power, so that's a really nice thing about Stampin' Up! Punches. These are dimensionals. They're sold in a pack of about 300, and I think they're $3.95. I put 2 of them on the back of that. Peel them off. Should never do that on camera. It's always tough to do. Alright, and then that little raised image is going to get added to the front of your card. Isn't that oh so cute? It's a fun way to use that new stamp set called Circus, and Teeny Tiny Wishes fits so nice in that new Modern Label Punch that we have. So really fun card. Also by doing the whole punch through there, you do save a little bit of ribbon. We could have wrapped the ribbon all the way around the card, but when your card is 5.5 inches across, you got 5.5 for the back side of your card, you'd have 5.5 through the front, and then for your tie, so you would be using up probably close to 18 inches of ribbon to get that all done, but we used about 8.5 inches. Also, by doing the random stamping pattern in the background of your card, if you ever mess up, that's where your little punch damage go. I got lucky this time, I didn't mess up, but a lot of times I do. That's the beauty of stamping. You can always fix what you've done. Check me out again, stampinsandyh.com. I hope to hear from you soon.